Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of day it is for you. My name is Justin, Coolimp, and a whole host of names. Now, this is kind of a follow-up video to what we were talking about last week when we were talking about Quadratum being sealed away from the lightness and the darkness. Now, the reason why this is so important is Quadratum might be a fully sealed reality. And there's a few things that kind of give it away. The dark side forming at the very beginning seems to shock everybody. So that kind of gives us a hint that they're not used to seeing kaiju in the middle of their streets. And more than likely, it would be something out of multimedia, like manga or movies or something like that. So that got me thinking. If Quadratum has been sealed away, how long has it been sealed away? And not just Quadratum, but the reality in which it exists. This doesn't really go into the dark side, light side theory because that was something that kind of popped along later. But it could very well follow that. Could this reality or this side of Kingdom Hearts, the dark side of Kingdom Hearts, not blessed with magic, have its own age of fairy tales? And that got me thinking even further. This reality, or the dark side of Kingdom Hearts, may even have had its own Keyblade War, where the victors, instead of continuing to fight over the light or fight over the dark, whichever it might be, instead they thought it would be better to seal their powers. That way no one can ever abuse the power of Kingdom Hearts. No one could ever sit down and create basically genocide over some power, or some magical power, would be better to say. That leads us with a few other things that's kind of interesting about this. The Master of Masters, Mom's Keyblade seems to still be with Lushu. At the way I think Quadratum is going to progress is a better way to phrase this. So I think that Mom's Keyblade is going to be with Lushu at the beginning of the game, and somehow is going to be returned to him by the end of the game. Lushu, I think, has to find a way to cross over with No Name in his possession. I think he finds this either through someone like Hades, or maybe he finds Thanatos, or if they open up some of the other properties that might have Disney related to it, you might have other gods of death or gods of the underworld that can provide passage. Now, since we're talking about these worlds being sealed, it presents us with another thought that we have to work out. Since the lightness and darkness have been sealed, how do you unseal those powers? Now, this is spitballing. I haven't really sat down and talked to anyone about this one, but I think it requires a Keyblade, the X-Blade, and Masters of sufficient power. I know the ultimate plan that the Master of Masters has said is the goal is to kill all the willful darknesses, but I don't know if he can actually accomplish said goal. So, by the end of it, the Master of Masters will probably end up with the X-Blade somehow. Sora and the crew stop them from completing their task, which delays it, so they have to wait longer to be able to complete the task. Some XYZ coordinates kind of thing has to be right. Has to be the right time, right place, and right right circumstances. And in doing so, I think what will happen is Sora is going to lose the X-Blade over to Mom somehow. But that's kind of where my notes end on this subject. This one was a pretty short one. since it was essentially a follow-up to a previous video. I think it's pretty interesting to think about long term, about realities being sealed away altogether. Um, Although it has an unlikely chance of being there, movies like Cloudy with the Chance of Meatball that has some type of sciency thing to it might actually work very well for this type of world, this type of universe. Um, Most of the Final Fantasy worlds will be in the same type of place. Final Fantasy V, for example, might be a world where they're completely sealed away. X Death Returning is someone trying to forcibly break open the world. Things like that might actually work. Some the games that we would be looking at are games that have hard science to them, which changes the way that we view the worlds themselves. But that's a completely type of down the rabbit hole type of situation. But with that said, I do want to say look forward to some more videos from me. Look forward to some streaming. I'm going to be streaming soon once again. I even got a nice little ring light so I can be on camera very well. Today I did not feel like being photogenic. So that's the reason you don't see me up on camera. With that said, once again, good morning, good night, good afternoon, whatever time of day it may be for you, and may be joy to every last one of you.